chance to experience tonight for Game 1 of the 2025 American League Division Series on FS1, presented by Booking.com, and here they come at T-Mobile Park. With all that, we welcome you inside the broadcast booth for what is sure to be an electric atmosphere tonight. Adam Amin with my tall World Series champion friends. Adam Wainwright, AJ Przynski, Tom Verducci is with us as well. I talked to a bunch of people around Seattle, and they all felt 3 years ago when they made the postseason for the first time in 21 years, it was a relief. Hey, we finally made it back. That has gone away now. This is a legitimate contender in a wide-open American League field.
Absolutely. The Seattle Mariners have it all. Starting pitching, bullpen, hitters, power, defense. They can do it all. The thing about the Mariners is they are led by one guy, though. His name is Cal Raleigh, and he has the best nickname in baseball, the Big Dumper. As a former catcher, I do have nothing but love for Cal Raleigh. He's my American League MVP. He set single season records, home runs by a catcher, home runs by a switch hitter. Oh yeah, he also led the league in RBIs, so he hits them in big moments. This guy is one of the best players in baseball, and if you haven't seen him because he's in Seattle, watch this series because he does damage.
He was the big reason why this team won its first division title in 24 years. Meanwhile, here are the Tigers. They looked like they were going to run away with the American League Central in mid-July. They collapse in September, but here they are. They grind through a wild card series against Cleveland. That means they get to hit the reset button today.
They do, but they're here in Seattle. This crowd is fired up. It's going to be a hostile environment. It's going to be tough. They know they got the best pitcher in all of baseball on the mound tomorrow, but they got to win today. Here's the three keys, the three parts of the formula for them winning this game right here. Formula for success. Troy Melton's got to give them some kind of length. He's going to be quality today, and he needs to be a total pitcher. He can't just be too reliant on his fastball. That team over there loves to hit the fastball. He's got to use his other pitches too. Also, he's got to keep the Mariners in the park. They love to hit home runs. He's got to keep them on the ground if he can. And then lastly, hitting, they have to move the runners. They have to pass the baton. They have to hit with runners in scoring position. That is the key to success. That's how they're going to win this game.
The Tigers in their second consecutive American League Division Series. The Mariners making the playoffs for just the second time since 2002. 2,300 miles separate the Emerald City from the Motor City, and 3 wins separates one of these teams from the ALCS. Game 1 is next. They have won their first American League West championship in 24 years after missing the playoffs each of the last 2 years by one measly game. The Mariners are back looking for their first Division Series win since October of 2001. A cool October night on a Saturday in Seattle. A look at tonight's same game parlay is available now on FanDuel. Let's check in with the fourth member of our team, the venerable Tom Verducci. Tom?
Well, thanks, Adam. They call him Furious George. Such is the competitive nature of George Kirby. He's a guy who, with the help of mental skills coach Adam Bernero, a former pitcher for the Tigers, has learned how to control those emotions. In spring training, Kirby would sit in a tub full of ice water to learn breathing techniques to help him in moments just like this. George Kirby is a fastball pitcher who says he loves the postseason because it is an adrenaline rush. Look at this setting. It is made for the fast and furious.
Pure adrenaline here in Seattle as Kirby takes the field. Mariners rotation wasn't really intact together until about mid-August. Just about every starter dealt with some kind of injury over the course of the season. Remember, this is one of the best rotations in all of baseball last year. But Kirby in his 23 starts, there's one common theme. He is around the strike zone.
He is, and he's just like every other Mariners pitcher. They attack the zone, and he may be a fastball pitcher, but we're going to see a lot of curveballs, a lot of sliders today. He knows that that team over there in Detroit loves hitting fastballs. He's got to get ahead with that breaking ball. He's got to use his slider. He's got to use his curveball. He has great numbers on those two pitches. They have crazy horizontal movement. Just check it out, though. The four-seam fastball has a great opponent's batting average. He's also got a really minimal slug on that and his slider. We're going to see a lot of that today, and he's going to need it.
Against a developing and improved young offense for the Detroit Tigers. They were below league average in scoring last year. They are above league average in scoring this year. The question is, which Detroit Tiger offense are you going to get? Gleyber Torres, who was in the leadoff spot for that Game 3 victory against Cleveland, he is right back up there. The big addition is Colt Keith, who was not part of the wild card roster as he was coming back from injury. An intercostal strain kept him out. He is back in the lineup tonight. Seattle defensively in the top half of most metrics. Arozarena in left, Robles in right. Rodriguez is an excellent center fielder. Suarez returns. He's been the third baseman since the trade deadline. Crawford, a former Gold Glover, has played more games at short than any other Mariner ever. Polanco and Naylor, trade deadline acquisition on the right side. And last year's Platinum Glove winner Cal Raleigh, likely to be one of the finalists for the Gold Glove in the American League this year. An agonizing 2 years in Seattle. They make it back to the postseason with a division title in 2025. An agonizing finish for Detroit, but they're here in the division series, and away we go in Game 1. With ball one. Alex Tosi is calling balls and strikes tonight in his first career division series assignment. Former New York Yankee Gleyber Torres takes ball two.
I don't care how much, as Tom said, you love the postseason and you're into all this. There are still nerves for George Kirby. And I don't want to call them nerves. Butterflies, excitement, whatever they are. In the first two pitches, Wayno, as you saw, a little bit yanked.
There's a strike. Torres, an all-star in his first season with the Detroit Tigers after 7 years with the New York Yankees. He's got more playoff experience than any other Detroit Tiger on the roster. This is his 49th career game. He waves and misses on a fastball. It's 2-2.
You see the power this guy has. He can run it up there, man. He's going to touch 98, maybe even 99 miles an hour today. He's got a little playoff adrenaline pump going. Listen to this crowd.
2-2. Torres down on strikes to start the night for Kirby, but now it's up to Kerry Carpenter, who has obliterated George Kirby's pitches so far in his career. Kirby has an ERA better than 7 against the Tigers in his career in 6 starts. Part of that is Kerry Carpenter's 4 home runs and 8 at-bats. And Carpenter takes ball one.
And only hits he has are home runs. It's crazy, and they're off different pitches. Most of them are down the middle, up, down, but down the middle, he sees George Kirby very well.
No breaking balls, though, AJ, on that list.
There's a breaking ball, strikes on the swing, on the slider.
I think we're going to see him flood this Detroit Tigers team with breaking balls today. I think he's going to throw an array of them. I think he's going to be relentless with that pitch. Especially if you have a guy like this that has 4 home runs off of you, you have to show him a different look.
That slider was the second best Kirby strikeout pitch this year behind the fastball. Carpenter fouls it away, and it's 1-2. Runs up a fastball for strike 3.
Wayno, I know you said that the Tigers can hit fastballs, but if they're going to swing at them up here, above the belt like that one to Torres and this one to Carpenter, it could be a long day for these Tigers because you cannot hit 99 above the belt.
Not 99.
You got to make them throw it a little bit down.
There's Riley Green waving and missing at a slider.
Well, this guy loves the ball down. So it will be interesting to see if he drives the ball up on him.
Green loops one towards right center field. That will get down for a base hit on his first curveball of the game. Riley Green was right there to knock it into right for a single of the 2-out variety, and the inning extends to Spencer Torkelson for Detroit.
Little breaking ball. Riley Green might have broken his bat right off the end of the bat, but your first at bat in a playoff series, that is a nice way to get it going. And somebody the Tigers need.
Yeah.
Because he really struggled down the stretch.
There is Torkelson. He'll take ball one upstairs. Tied a career high this year with 31 home runs. Green at first base, he had a career high 36. Carpenter, who struck out, had a career high 26. So some pop in the top half of this Detroit order. There's a 1-0. And there for a strike.
Ooh, that's tough right there. Alex Tosi, the home plate umpire, if you're going to give them above the zone, then the Tigers, that's going to lead the Tigers to have to swing up there, and they do not want to swing at that pitch if possible.
Home with a 1-1 Kirby. Upstairs to Torkelson. Had a couple of hits in the wild card series. Did strike out 5 times, but had a couple of RBIs as well in each of the victories for Detroit. They won game 1, lost game 2 to Cleveland, and then had the explosion late to clinch it in game 3 on the road against their division rival. Breaking ball is swung on and missed, and a chance to finish off the frame. Two-two pitch. It'll get started for Seattle with Randy Arozarena, Cal Raleigh, and Julio Rodriguez. What is part of a very impressive Seattle offense, which finally took the turn this year after years of clamoring to try to help out the offense. This was a much improved offensive team from below average to 10th in scoring from last year to this year. They're pretty home run dependent. Only the Yankees and Dodgers hit more home runs. About half of Seattle's runs came from the home run ball. And it will be up to Troy Melton, who they have plans on him being a starting pitcher going forward. This will be just his 5th career major league start for the rookie. The 24-year-old deals, and Arozarena fouls it back.
And you see what's happening right now. Seattle knows that he loves to pump strikes. He's got to be careful because the last game we saw him against Cleveland, he got fastball happy. He's got to use his off speed. He's got to use some secondary pitches against this great Mariners lineup. And he's got them. He's got a really good repertoire.
Got a tough assignment as Randy Arozarena had a career high power season. And he takes a breaking ball to left. Backing on it is Green, and he reaches up for out number 1. So a key first out, because that's going to bring up the big dumper. And we're going to take a look at Fox Foresight, powered by Google Cloud, for Cal Raleigh, AJ.
He's my MVP. I said it in the open, and these numbers are out of this world. Not even counting the fact about his defense. But here you go, 31% to hit a home run. He had 60 and under 10 at-bats per home run.
And he takes the first pitch down the right field line towards the corner. It is a foul ball. Gary Carpenter was giving chase, hoping that would land foul, and that was the case, according to Nate Tomlinson, the right field umpire in his major league debut for the postseason.
Just foul. But that's what Cal Raleigh has done all year. He hasn't missed pitches that are in the strike zone and he can do damage on. That's how you hit 60 home runs. There's not a number you can look at for Cal Raleigh in power that doesn't amaze you. Where he hits them, when he hits them, left-handed, right-handed, guys on, nobody on. He has done it all.
Melton home with an 0-1. Waved on and missed. Raleigh, a switch-hitting catcher with a historic 60 home run season. Broke records set by Sal Perez for home runs by a catcher, by Mickey Mantle's record for home runs by a switch hitter, and the most home runs by a Seattle Mariner in a single season. The first time All-Star. Only he and his manager Dan Wilson have made the All-Star team from the catcher position in Seattle Mariner history.
You start passing Mickey Mantle and things.
Just ridiculous.
That's pretty cool.
Melton home with a 1-2 pitch, and Raleigh just got a piece to foul it. Had a strong close to the season as well. Took a little bit of a tailspin after the All-Star break, did Raleigh. Still had the power numbers, but he hit almost 280 in September. 1-2. Hard hit ball into center field, a base hit.
I think if you were looking at this lineup, and Cal Raleigh especially, you go into this game, you know you've got to pitch him like it's 0-2 every pitch. Right here in the 1-2 count, he gets a fastball, he throws it right down the middle. It's exactly what Cal wants, obviously. He's lucky he only hit a single on it, but you got to pitch him super tough. Strike to ball, strike to ball, strike to ball, and ball to strike. Never anything in the middle.
Rodriguez chops it to third, grabbed by McKinstry, throw to second, Torres digs it out, relay to first is not in time. Rodriguez, one of the fastest Seattle Mariners, is able to beat it out and keep the inning alive.
I'll say this for what you just said, Wayno, about Cal Raleigh. They're glad it was only a single because those are the pitches that he hit out of the park about 60 times this year.
Absolutely.
This is a really nice play by McKinstry. Gets the short hop and a great turn by Gleyber Torres at second to make this close. And Julio just beats it out.
So the reach by Torkelson. Melton was hoping, but he'll have to fight through Josh Naylor, one of the great trade deadline acquisitions in all of Major League Baseball this year. A former Cleveland Guardian, was with the Arizona Diamondbacks to begin this season. Got traded a week before the deadline to Seattle, and those were his numbers in 54 games. He closed out the year strong on a 12-game hit streak.
I look for him to have a great postseason. That demeanor he has, AJ, he's just as cool as the underside of the pillow, isn't he?
Well, this guy brings a presence. Not only is his shoe game the best shoe game I've ever seen.
He's got tons of them.
But his demeanor, his calmness, in his whole career, he's done nothing but get huge hits. I couldn't pull those shoes off. I'm a Jordan guy. I'm 11. Jordan 11s is what he's wearing. But I couldn't do all the rhinestones, I don't think.
He's got 150 pairs of shoes, of cleats
Maybe you
in the
can
locker
ask,
room.
maybe you guys can ask to borrow them and see if you like them. Let's give it a shot. 2-0 pitch is outside, and it's 3-0.
He does. He has 150 pairs.
So he's got some to spare for both of you guys, is what you're saying.
He's got a few. Maybe not 150 pairs of those, though.
28-year-old from Mississauga, Ontario, Canada. Will take all the way, and it is a 4-pitch walk to push Rodriguez into scoring position. That'll bring up Polanco with an RBI chance. You see Baez and Rodriguez hanging out at second. This is a big opportunity for Troy Melton, the 24-year-old who came up as a high school catcher in Anaheim, California. Just made his major league debut shy of 3 months ago. Melton is just the second ever Detroit Tiger rookie to start a game 1 of a playoff series. The other, Justin Verlander, in 2006 in the World Series. 4th round pick. He was at Double-A, not at Triple-A to start the year. He was at Double-A Erie to begin this season. His 0-1 to Polanco is lifted in the air. Right center field, well struck. Meadows and Carpenter are there, and it is Carpenter to haul it in, and Melton leaves a pair of Mariners stranded. A scoreless first, off to the second in Game 1. For 6 MLB Playoffs Challenge, download the Fox Sports app right now and enter for free for a shot to win your share of $10,000 in cash prizes. See the Fox Sports app for details. Scoreless first inning between the Tigers and Mariners in Game 1 of this American League Division Series, and it will be the first game played for Colt Keith since September the 18th. DHing for the Tigers, and he'll take a strike.
I think a fascinating matchup in this series, not only tonight, is the lefties for the Tigers have to do damage against all the right-handed starters for the Mariners. They're all right-handed. They have a couple lefties in the bullpen.
Hard hit into right field, and Colt Keith right back in the book. He bangs a single to start off this second inning. And AJ, for the most part, the Tigers have had a lot of success over the times they've seen George Kirby. And Waino, you were talking about how elevated that ERA. I know we mentioned Carpenter, but
yeah,
a lot of guys have had success against him.
Yeah, his last 5 starts has been really, really tough. I'll tell you this, though. His last start was his best start against them in a long time. He gave up a 3-run homer opposite field to Riley that kind of ruined those numbers. He flooded them with off-speed stuff.
Here's Dylan Dingler, an excellent catcher, who was a key piece in that victory over the team he grew up rooting for. The Ohio kid hit the go-ahead solo home run in Game 3 before Detroit blew it open 1 inning later. Dingler has had an excellent year. There's a 1-0 pitch to the Detroit catcher, and he's ahead on the count 2-0. His manager, the former Major League catcher A.J. Hinch, sitting at 998 career victories between the regular season and postseason with Arizona, Houston, and Detroit. 2-0 pitch. 3-0.
I have to say, A.J. Hinch is built for the postseason. When you talk to him, all the games he's done in the postseason, all the things he's been through, he just has a different heartbeat and a different explanation. I swear he's gone out and replayed and forward thought about every scenario that possibly could come up for this Tigers team in this entire, from Game 1, I feel like, to Game 5, and he's got plans for each and everything.
We did our meeting with him before the game. He was just sitting on top of the desk. Looked like he was in a lawn chair sitting on the beach. He was just as comfy as could be to be in this postseason. You could tell he was not nervous. He trusts his team. That's a dangerous situation. When you have a leader like that at the top, it feeds into the players.
Well, think about it. You got such an experienced playoff manager, and now here's the postseason debut as a manager for Dan Wilson, who took over in August of last year after Scott Service was let go. Wilson has led them to a division title. 2 on for Zach McKinstry, who had a key sacrifice in the wild card series. Drove in a run. The Tigers only had 5 sacrifices the entire regular season. They needed 2 key ones in Game 1, including McKinstry's, to drive in a run in a tight game. You saw the corners in Suarez and Naylor playing in, and the middle infield of Crawford and Polanco still hoping for a double play ball. Raleigh's going to go out to check with George Kirby. So while we have a moment, a quick word from Adobe. Tom Verducci is down on the field. What did you notice from that first inning from George Kirby, Tom?
Well, that was a new level of furious George. He averages 96.7 in the first inning, but tonight, 98.5. That is a career high. He hit 99 without rounding twice, had not done that once all year. The question now, guys, is can he maintain that adrenaline? We're starting to see the 97s now.
Well, you guys have talked about it. We've done the playoffs for the last several years, and it just feels like that adrenaline dump is real. Here's a 1-0 pitch to Zach McKinstry. And it's in there for a strike.
And I'll tell you this, it starts when you your first step out on that field to walk to the bullpen. Your adrenaline starts going crazy when you feel that. You have to really slow your heartbeat down. Do some breathing drills like he said he did in the cold tub earlier. He's really got to focus on his breathing.
McKinstry fouls it away, and it's 1-2.
It is so easy when you go out in that first inning to have your adrenaline dump all the way out. You have to really control that in these big moments.
Two on, nobody out. And McKinstry, a defensive swing as that one was coming in on his hands. He fights it off.
One thing to take a look at here, the Mariners thought that McKinstry was going to bunt. I didn't think he was going to bunt as he just gets beaten by this fastball, almost kills Joey Cora down there at third base. It's a small target too. So
and Joey's outside the third base box down the line too. Watch out, Joey. 1-2 pitch. 2-2.
But here's the thing with George Kirby. He's unbelievable with nobody on base. But when guys get on base and he's out of the stretch, he struggles big time. Runners in scoring position. Those are the numbers. Usually don't see it. You see a little jump. Usually don't see over 100-point jump like George Kirby has.
Another 2-2 to McKinstry. It is waved down and missed. He used the slider that time. I imagine that's a good sign, being able to go to the secondary pitches for a strikeout here in the second inning.
Yeah, it is. He threw a couple of very well located fastballs before that, setting it up, jammed him inside a couple of times, really sped his bat up, and that got him off balance for that good slider. He kind of made a mistake with it. It was right down the middle, but it was because he threw those great fastballs before it that he was able to get away with it.
And now Javi Baez has 2 on and 1 out. Baez fouls it back. What a jump this year that Javi Baez was able to make. He hit just 184 last season. This year, that average jumped up to 257. He kind of reset himself, readjusted his stance, and it certainly paid dividends. He also went to his third All-Star game at a third different position this year. A key flex piece for Detroit. He chops one towards third, left side, picked up by Suarez, and the throw gets Baez. 2 runners in Keith and Dingler both advanced 90 feet, but they're now 2 away here in the second.
These are the at-bats that are so important in playoff situations. Second and third, 2 outs. You get a hit right here if you're Parker Meadows. Crowd's excited. You're the road team. It quiets the crowd, puts all the pressure on Seattle. These are the at-bats. When you look at series, teams that get the hit, drive in the run here, they win. Teams that don't usually don't win.
This is what we mentioned pregame. They've got to string these hits together. 3 hits in a row. That's how you're going to beat these Mariners.
One of the best pitching staffs in baseball. A little bit high to Parker Meadows, who was the leadoff man for the first 2 games of the wild card series against Cleveland. He's one of the faster Detroit Tigers on this roster. In fact, without Matt Vierling active, he's probably the fastest that Detroit has. He had a couple of hits in game 3, including a bunt single. He scored twice in the 9 spot. Takes a strike, 1-1.
George is he's kind of different with that sinker. He uses it up in the zone. You see the great movement it has. It's very late. It looks just like the 4-seamer, but he uses it ball to strike up and into those lefties a lot.
Used it a lot more in September as the season was winding down. Now breaking ball near the shoe tops, and it's 2-1.
Yeah, I always wonder, is that really a sinker? That's just a 2-seamer that's running back.
It's a runner, yeah.
It's not really, they classify it as a sinker, but
sure.
To me it's more of a side-to-side pitch. It's not going up to down.
A little bit of a run inside towards the lefty, right?
Well, the other way. It starts in and runs back to the middle.
To the outside, okay. There's a 2-1. Foul back, 2-2. And this is a big pitch early in this game 1. 2 on, 2 out. Second inning, 2-2 count. All the deuces are wild. This crowd's about to go wild if he strikes out Meadows.
Looks like he was sitting slow right there, AJ.
Agreed.
Kirby to Meadows. 2-2 delivery on the way. Called, strike 3. Now it's Kirby who leaves a pair stranded. Already 3 Tigers left on base by Furious George. The prodigal son returns. Eugenio Suarez, a fan favorite who was part of that 2022 playoff run, is back in Seattle, disagreeing with that first strike called from Alex Tosi behind the plate. That flips the at bat, and it's 1-1 on Suarez, who had a phenomenal year between Arizona and Seattle. Did tail off towards the end of the season with Seattle, but finished top 5 in homers and top 4 in RBIs in all of Major League Baseball. He's ahead of the count, 2-1. There is the umpiring crew. Tosi his first Division Series assignment. Tomlinson his first ever playoff game. John Tumpain his 8th playoff assignment. Back to Melton. He fields it cleanly and underhands it to retire Suarez, 1 down.
Wait, I got to know. Why do all pitchers, when they field these, they run over there and flip them? Can we not just step and throw? Pitchers are supposed to be athletes.
So I know, but so many of these guys are so geared to throwing it 100 miles an hour like this fella. You'd rather him run over there and underhand it than try to go something slow. It's hard to do that for guys who throw really hard for whatever reason. If you can have time to do it, that's the better play.
There's Dominic Canzone. Cool moment right here between Canzone and the man who's catching the pitches from Melton. Canzone had an excellent year grinding through a couple of rough patches. And behind the plate is his former Ohio State teammate. A half-hearted chop swing for a foul. It's 0-2. This has got to be a very fun time for these two guys who are each co-captains at Ohio State together, separated by just a couple of years. And right before the first at bat, how cool is this? Getting to hang out in the playoffs together? Are you kidding me? All right, now Canzone goes down on a 97-mile-an-hour fastball that kept on looking at Melton after that. First strikeout in the postseason for the right-hander.
He looks different in the 2nd inning.
Well, something to consider about this. I want you to watch. Look where the location is, but watch his arm swing. His arm, he's got a very short arm. It's real quick. The fastball gets on you.
Oh, wow. Yeah, you can really see it. Just to look at his elbow, it's like a snap almost going forward.
He just brings it straight up. Watch it. There's no big loop in there. It's up and it's out really, really quick. And he gets down the mound well.
Victor Robles takes a close pitch, 1-1.
Well, that's because he was a former catcher.
That's right. I think that's exactly right.
Catchers are taught short arm swings right to your ear and let it eat. That's kind of how he throws.
Reminds me of Jason Mott.
Lucas Giolito has a real short one that he changed.
Yeah, that's also it's really helped a lot of guys control their stuff better, get a little velo, little deception. There's no exact right way to throw a ball. That's what I love about Major League Baseball and pitchers. Everybody's different. This short arm works for Melton though.
The Newport Beach, California native brings home a 2-2. And it's low on a slider. Robles did not bite. And the count runs full on a man who's playing his first postseason game since winning the 2019 World Series in Game 7 with the Washington Nationals. Robles fouls it back.
Don't you think Melton looks different in the 2nd inning? Much more calm, much more under control. You mentioned the adrenaline. Well, he got through the first, a couple guys left on.
That first 0 is so important.
It is.
Payoff pitch, and he gets a swing and a miss on a fastball. Couple of them to get Canzone and Robles back to back. A 1-2-3 Melton frame. To the 3rd we go.
Whoa.
Your team, your players, your postseason. Follow all the postseason action on the MLB app, the #1 app for live baseball. Witch's Brew being put together out in this crowd. One of the fun stories in Seattle this year. Gleyber Torres back at the top of this Detroit order. Second time through against George Kirby. He struck out on a high fastball his first time. 4 for 10 in his career against Kirby. As we mentioned, just about everybody in the Seattle rotation dealt with some kind of injury at some point this year. A lot of thought that maybe Brian Wu, who felt like overall the best pitcher in the rotation for Seattle this year, could start game 1, but he's dealing with a pec injury. There's a fastball upstairs again, and it's 1-2. Wu was left off the ALDS roster, so Kirby gets the call here in game 1, and he's already got 5 punch-outs.
And it was an interesting choice for George Kirby to start this game because of the numbers we showed against the Tigers, but the home road splits. Luis Castillo is going to start game 2 because of the home road splits.
Down the right field line towards the corner. That drops fair. Gleyber Torres looks for extra bases. Played out in the corner by Robles, but it's a leadoff double for Torres. A 2-strike, 2-bagger to start the third for Detroit.
And again, it's all fastballs up again, and that's good to Gleyber. You can get him up there. He has very low batting average, low slug, but when he does hit it up there, he hits for extra bases. He has power at the top. He's got a lot of swing and miss, but he's got power up there.
Here's the thing. We talked to A.J. Hinch. What did he say? We can't just get one hit. It has to be 3 hitters in a row. Kerry Carpenter right here. Gleyber Torres double. Kerry Carpenter has to figure out a way to get him to third so Riley Green has a chance to drive him in. It can't be 1. It can't be 2. It has to be 3 guys in a row. And what did he say? Touch the ball.
Yeah.
Productive outs. Move runners. String things together so they can put pressure on the Seattle Mariners.
They just saw Cleveland, their division rival. Cleveland's one of the best pitching staffs in baseball. It's hard to string together hits. Trying to string together hits here against Seattle's excellent staff. Waved on and missed by Carpenter. It's 1-1. AJ, to your point, the home road splits are pretty drastic for a handful of these Seattle starters. No more so than George Kirby. Almost 2 earned runs a game better at home than he was on the road. Now, there are some starts that might skew those numbers, but if you look at the full scale of about 23, 24 starts, it's a pretty drastic split.
Well, this is a great place to pitch.
Yep, pitcher friendly traditionally.
T-Mobile is definitely a pitcher friendly park.
There's a 1-1. Foul back in our direction.
It's an interesting decision they had to make because he is so much better at home, but at the same time, this has kind of been one of his, if not the biggest problem team for him to pitch against. That had to factor into their decision.
And this has been the biggest problem hitter for Kirby, as we showed you earlier. He got him with a high fastball in the first. 1-2 on Carpenter. Slider in the air to center. It is Rodriguez. Torres will bluff the move, but he's sticking at second. There's one down in the third.
There's that breaking ball.
But an unproductive out.
Yeah.
Gleyber Torres leadoff double. Kerry Carpenter can't move him to third. Now it takes a base hit to score him.
His worst swings today have been on that breaking ball.
Well, some of the problems we saw in the wild card series for Detroit was exactly what AJ and Waino were talking about so far tonight. Tigers are 0 for 5 with runners on base. Here's Riley Green, who singled with 2 outs in the first. Upstairs for ball 1.
I think the next step for George is to learn that bottom of the zone as well. He works the top so well. But if he could throw that good breaking ball and that sinker down every now and then just to change planes, it would make him take off, I think.
Quickly 2-0 on Riley Green. Mentioned at a career high 36 home runs this season, drove in 111. Tigers' best hitter, who at one point was pinch hit for in the wild card series by AJ Hinch to get a better matchup. Fouls back a slider, 2-1. Also, I thought maybe that would maybe light a fire under Kerry Carpenter as well. By the way, Carpenter took that in stride. He was very complimentary, or Green was very complimentary, I should say, of Jahmai Jones, the guy who pinch hit for him in that key game 2. A.J. Hinch went to talk to Green about it, and Green said, no. You make the decision. I support your decision. That's the type of mentality that Riley Green has developed as one of the leaders for this Detroit Tiger team. He's got Torres at second with 1 out and a 2-1 pitch. Foul back, 2-2. He is susceptible to the strikeout. Second most strikeouts in Major League Baseball behind James Wood of Washington this year.
Well, strikeouts don't matter if you drive in 111.
Yep. Putting in way more, right, than you want to
knock in more than you
let through.
Yeah.
So 2-2 pitch to Green. In the air, down the line, foul.
You see him exclusively working that fastball up to him. This is one guy that he doesn't want to throw the fastball low to. Sinker down to Green, not a good idea. That's his best batting average down in the zone. It's his best slug. He loves to go down and get the ball.
He's got that swing path that kind of takes low pitches, loops them high, can put it in the air. That's how you end up with 36 homers. There's the slider low, though, and he missed that one. Kirby gets his 6th strikeout already.
And that's how you do it, though. If you have guys that like the ball down, you make it look like it's going to be down middle, and you work it to the ball. Strike to ball right there. I love it down. I'm going to go get that. Oh, no. Now it's right off my back foot. Can't get to it. That is a great job pitching right there after those great high fastballs.
Well sequenced by Kirby. He's trying to work around the leadoff double. Here's Torkelson with Torres still waiting at second. Now he's starting to feel the slider a little bit more, going to it earlier in the count.
And Wayno, what was the key? One of the keys you said to this series in this game? Detroit hit with runners on base. Right now they have not gotten any hits with guys on base. They've had traffic every inning, have not gotten the hit to put them in the lead.
Now 0 for 6. 1-1, and there's that slider again. Doubles up on it to start off Torkelson. Almost like when Sam Darnold's on offense. They see Kirby going up to the pitch count and goes, all right, let's quiet down now. Seahawks play here tomorrow before game 2 of this series. Foul back, and it's 1-2, and a chance to leave Gleyber Torres stranded in scoring position. Trying to muscle his way out of another early jam. In the air, well struck ball, left center field. This is going to push Arozarena and Rodriguez back. It is Julio for the 3rd out. And after the leadoff double, Kirby leaves Torres sitting at second. And as the Mariners come to bat, it'll be Cal Raleigh coming up 3rd, the 60 home run star. Cal Raleigh will hit in this inning. It'll be J.P. Crawford in the 9 spot, the longest tenured Seattle Mariner, facing the young right-hander Troy Melton, who gets a swing and a miss to begin the inning. A couple of strikeouts to finish off the 2nd for Melton. And he's quickly ahead of Crawford, 0-2. Settled in nicely after some traffic in the 1st inning. Went 1-2-3 in the 2nd with a couple of fastballs to get swings and misses from Canzone and Robles.
JP's very susceptible to that fastball at the top.
Breaking ball to lower the eye level on the slider. 1 ball and 2 strikes. We'll see where Dingler will set up this time. On the ground, punch to 3rd. It's Zach McKinstry, and he retires Crawford, 1 down. T-Mobile, the best network in the game, is now the best network in America. We're at T-Mobile Park tonight. Opened back in 1999, south of downtown here in Seattle. Randy Arozarena back at the top of the Mariner order. His postseason career has had some electric moments. The 2020 campaign was just ridiculous. Obviously expanded format, a lot of games. He had 10 of those 11 home runs in 2020 en route to the World Series, where the Rays lost to the Dodgers. But Arozarena opened up a lot of eyes during that postseason run. Last year was the first year in Arozarena's major league career that he missed the playoffs after he got dealt to Seattle. He's been the leadoff man since the trade deadline. After Suarez and Naylor were both acquired, Arozarena went back to the top and pretty much stayed there for the rest of the year. Melton's 1-2. Half swing and a miss. It's a strike anyway. 3 Ks for Troy Melton. 2 up and 2 down. And here comes Cal Raleigh, the big dumper. We mentioned it earlier in this evening. Beat Salvador Perez's record for home runs by a primary catcher. Then he passes Mickey Mantle for the most home runs by a switch hitter. And then he passes some guy named Ken Griffey Jr. for the most by a Mariner. Swings at the first pitch, out to center. Meadows is there, and Melton has really settled in nicely. He's retired 7 straight since the first inning. We're through 3. We're scoreless.
On the road, I dare say it looks like he's having fun. What do you see, and how long can you ride him?
You know, he's doing a great job of settling in. The first inning was really important. They put pressure on him. They came out. This environment's big. But he's in total control. So as efficient as he was last inning, we're going to keep going forward, and who knows how long we can go with him because of the way he throws strikes.
What adjustment do your hitters have to make on the elevated velocity of George Kirby, especially with runners on base?
Yeah, he came out pretty hot, and he's got really good stuff, as we know. And the September tells us that he was missing bats, and you got to beat him to the spot now. It's hard to cover all of his pitches at the same time. Hopefully the early amped up version of him settles in. He yanks one down for our guys to hit.
Thanks so much, AJ.
You got it.
Great insight, Tom, from AJ Hinch there. Very comfortable, it seems like, this young Troy Melton, 24 years of age, making his first career postseason start. Yeah, sure, just go out there and throw 3 scoreless innings and retire Cal Raleigh the first 2 times you face him. It's very impressive to see that so far.
We didn't know. AJ Hinch was very comfortable running him out there, but we didn't know what he was going to give him. We didn't know 1 inning, 1 time through, 3 innings. AJ Hinch was like, he's going to go 5 with 55 pitches, and was very confident in that. And the way he's going right now, every out he steals, every inning he steals, is just 1 less bullet for that bullpen. And AJ Hinch loves the pitching chaos. As we know, he's great at matchups, and the deeper Melton goes, the easier it is for him to match up with some of these hitters in the Mariners lineup.
2-2 on Colt Keith, who returned with a single to start off the second inning, his first game since mid-September after that intercostal strain. He goes and chases a changeup as Kirby mixes it up for his 7th strikeout, the first on that change.
Yeah, what I love what he did this at bat. The first at bat, Colt got a fastball to hit it up the middle. This at bat, we saw a great breaking ball he swung over the top of, and now he comes back with that really good changeup. Looks just like the fastball and then works just off the plate. But Colt is a very good fastball hitter and not a very good off-speed hitter.
There's Dingler fouling it back.
That sounds like the whole Tigers lineup.
It is. It really is. But, you know, Colt Keith is 321 on the fastball and 124 on anything else. It's a big difference. Those guys know that over there.
Yep. Dingler walked his first time up, waits for a 1-strike pitch. Checks his swing, appeal down to first, and no swing, says Jeremy Rehab.
You want to be a big league umpire? Just got booed by 40,000+ people for saying Dingler didn't swing.
Just putting your arms out.
Even though I didn't think it was that close.
A 1-1 delivery. Dingler skies one, shallow center. Going out Polanco, coming in is Rodriguez. Hard to miss him with that teal colored glove, Mariner colored glove. 2 up and 2 down.
I watched a lot of George Kirby starts getting ready for this game. This is the best I've seen his command in any game I've watched him all year. He is locked in on his location. He's got that great bite on the end of his breaking ball that has such great horizontal movement on it, but he is locating that heater tonight better than I've seen him.
Here's McKinstry. He'll take a strike. Remember that, as we said, Kirby's typically around the strike zone. This was a guy who set a major league record by starting a game with 24 consecutive strikes. That's just one example of how often he is around the zone.
Well, here's the number for me. In his last 19 and 2/3 innings, he has 37 punches. It's almost 2 per inning.
Yep.
That's electric.
That's what A.J. Hinch was talking about, right? Late in the year, missing a lot of bats. McKinstry fouls it back, and it's 1-2. So far, here's where the strikeouts have been. You guys okay with this so far?
Oh, man. But look, those are sinkers at the top. Now, A.J. pointed out it's not really a sinker when he throws it up there, but it is that good running two-seamer, and he's using it effectively up there.
He's got McKinstry set up, and he gets him to swing and miss on a slider. Kirby's retired 9 of the last 10. We're in Seattle for the American League Division Series. If you're flipping over after the Dodgers take down the Philadelphia Phillies in game 1, 5-3, Adam Amin, Adam Wainwright, AJ Pierzynski, Tom Verducci, the wonderful women and men of our Fox Sports crew hanging out in Seattle. Julio Rodriguez in the heart of the Mariner order. They lead things off here in the bottom of the 4th against the 24-year-old Troy Melton, who gets the call in game 1 for the Tigers, who worked their way out of the wild card series, taking on the American League West champion Mariners. And Melton so far has been excellent. He's retired the last 7 he's faced after some traffic in the first.
He's been fantastic. Once he got out of that first inning, he has been dominant, multiple pitches, multiple locations.
Clips the corner that time.
Throwing pitches like that at 97.
Ooh. And it's up and it's down. Like you said, changing speeds. He's being that total pitcher that they needed him to be. That's what A.J. wanted.
Rodriguez into center field, backing his Meadows at the wall. Julio Rodriguez strikes first for Seattle. It's 1-0. They have waited 24 years in Seattle to explode like that. Their first run at home since 2001. And now Josh Naylor launches one towards the moon, but this might stay in the park. My goodness, Carpenter is there to retire Naylor, 1 down. And look at the smile on Melton's face, too. He's like, oh, boy.
I think everybody thought he got it.
That was a wild roller coaster ride. The parabolic flyout for Naylor, 1 down. And it's 1-0 Seattle on that Rodriguez blast to center.
Well, Julio Rodriguez is one of the best players in baseball the second half of the season. He was a questionable all-star pick because he didn't have the great first half. But how many times have we seen Julio Rodriguez get hot as the weather warms up? And he's been a great second half player. And he got a mistake from Melton and made it 1-0 Mariners.
Polanco will take outside.
I look at that pitch, AJ. I don't know if it's a mistake. That's really his biggest strikeout area, that very top of the strike zone, and he just beat him to the spot. I think sometimes you got to tip your hat to superstar players, but that pitch is at the very top of the. Look at that. He had to pull his hands in. Look at that. It felt like he was going to get jammed, and he just drove it out to center.
I mean, that speaks to the strength, right? For Julio Rodriguez, when his hands have to come in a tough spot in the zone and still puts it out to center field for a home run. That was quite impressive.
Hitters are good. Hitters are good also. We can talk about
right.
pitchers.
Yeah.
And we can talk about this and that, but sometimes hitters are good.
Polanco checks the swing. It's a splitter for a strike anyway from Melton as he busts that pitch out.
I'll say though, he gave up the home run. He almost gave up the next guy home run, but then you saw him smiling. He wasn't overwhelmed.
To the shifted shortstop in Baez, and he retires Polanco for the second out of the inning. Back to the home run from Rodriguez on a 2-2 fastball.
Oof. Melton right there is thinking, come on, please stay in, give Parker Meadows a chance. Just went too far. That ball is at the top of the zone, and then this crowd just erupted. And then when Julio Rodriguez grabbed the trident, another eruption.
I mean, wouldn't you say that is just such a great, to be able to keep your hands inside through the ball and use the big part of the field here in Seattle? That's not an easy thing to do, to go center field here.
It is not, but he is one of the best players in the game for a reason.
Suarez fouls it back, 1-1. He delivers Seattle's first home playoff run in nearly a quarter century. Remember, the one home playoff game that Seattle got to play in 2022 was an epic game. 1-0 Houston in Game 3 in an 18-inning marathon. The starter for that game for Seattle, by the way, was George Kirby. He went 7 scoreless in that contest. Now he gets to work with a lead because of Rodriguez's first career playoff home run. Two-1, 3-1.
What did A.J. Hinch tell us how the Tigers beat the Mariners? Can't let them hit home runs. And they are home run dependent as anybody in baseball. The key is you give up one solo one, you can survive. You can't give up 2.
Suarez pops it up into foul territory. Home runs play in the postseason. We all know that. And if you can't generate the home runs, you have to do what you guys have talked about with Detroit, right? To string hits together, which just seems a little harder to do when you're facing the top of the line pitching that you're going to see in the postseason. In the wild card round, the teams that out-homered their opponents were 5-1, and that's been a trend going back several years. Suarez waves and misses. Melton settles back in to retire the rest of the side in order after Julio Rodriguez bringing those hands in and still flexing it out to center field, bringing this crowd to life. 1-0 to the 5th in Game 1 from Seattle in the American League Division Series. It's out to center field, gets a huge ovation from the crowd just to the right of straightaway. Acknowledges that crowd that has grown to love him since he got up to the big leagues and won American League Rookie of the Year 3 years ago. Melton with an excellent 4 innings, all things considered, especially when you only give up 1 run against the top half of a very good Seattle lineup.
I was very impressed with him today. Stuff was great. He was exactly what they needed him to be. He was using all of his pitches, and he didn't get overwhelmed in that big moment where they started to get some momentum on the Mariners side. He kept making pitches. That was huge.
Javier Baez flips one out to right. Robles is there and leaps to make the catch. One down here in the 5th. That's 10 of 11 retired now by George Kirby, who gets to work with a lead. Melton looks like he might be perhaps done.
Well,
but we don't know for sure.
no, but they have a pocket. Canzone, Robles, Crawford.
You got Brant Herter, the left-hander, loosening up.
Two of 3 lefties. So you would think A.J. Hinch is saying, listen, great job, kid. Let's try and score you some runs. And we got a pocket of lefties coming up. We can match up pretty well here.
Meadows, the 9-hitter, takes inside.
Kirby's at 69 pitches now. As he gets going further in this game, it would be interesting to see if those first couple innings where he was so amped up tax him a little bit. You see his velo dropping just a little bit, command dropping just a little bit. He's got to refocus right here.
Guy who once threw 153 pitches in a high school start comes home with his 71st tonight in his second career playoff start. A generous strike. Meadows disagreed, and Kirby will happily take it to make it 2-1.
It's never been harder to be an umpire. The box has changed everybody's opinion on what's good and what's not.
Well, we saw it in that Cubs-Padres wild card series, that kind of egregious call that hurt the Padres. Remember, next year the ABS system will be implemented, so that pitch in that series would have been a hat tap. I would have been curious if Meadows would have been considering if the situation would have called for it and the ABS existed this season.
Well, you think it's hard now? Wait till the helmet tapping starts next year. It's only going to get tougher to be an umpire. There's going to be challenges all the time.
2-2 pitch is high, and it's full on Meadows.
And I bet you there's going to be players that are off limits. You are not allowed to use the hat tap, because they get all emotional. You want the guys who have great ideas of the strike zone using those, I think.
You only get so many to work with, too, per game.
Big pitch in this game right here. Meadows can get on for the top of the order. It's a big pitch.
Fouls that one back to stay alive on a fastball.
And he challenged him. I was wondering maybe if he might breaking ball, split, change up, something different. He went right after Meadows. Now he fouled it off. Will Kirby, who doesn't walk hardly anybody in his career, will he do that again and challenge Meadows again, or go to the
painted
slider?
him up and in first time through.
That's where Raleigh is set up, and it's fouled back.
But you see that ball now, he's trying to throw that up and in. It's doing the traveler. It's kind of starting in and working out over the plate. That's the dangerous pitch.
Kirby twice led Major League Baseball in strikeout to walk ratio. His payoff pitch is a breaking ball, looped to right. That's going to drop in front of Robles for a base hit. So the 9-hitter indeed gets aboard for the top of the order, and Torres, as we send it to our top man Kevin Burkhardt for a game break. So the defending champions are in front on the road. Torres takes a strike. Milwaukee, after Michael Busch got a home run for Chicago in the first, Milwaukee said, don't worry about it, we'll take care of the offense. Alejandro Kirk, who is right up there with Raleigh and Dingler, the two catchers in our series, has Gold Glove finalist potential. He had a strong offensive game with 2 homers, and then the Teoscar Hernandez postseason love affair continues. 0-2 on Torres, a man on and a man out in the 5th. A 1-0 Seattle lead for Kirby and the Mariners. 1-2.
I was wondering when Gleyber was going to lay off one of those. He's got the best strike zone judgment on this team, and he keeps chasing him up. Yes, he hit a double on it last time. But if Kirby keeps throwing it up there, eventually he'll get him to swing and miss and punch him out.
85 walks to lead the Tigers for Torres this year. Quality at bat at the top of the lineup. A 1-2. Popped up foul.
See, he needs to throw that about 6 inches higher, and he'll miss it. That one's close enough where he can get to it. If you throw that 6 inches higher, he'll swing underneath it.
You say 6 inches higher. Is that where he's going now?
If I was George Kirby, I'd just keep throwing it up there until he takes another one.
I think he's got that breaking ball wide open now, down and away.
But see, I don't think Gleyber will swing at it. It's got to start as a strike. If he starts as a ball, Gleyber will take it.
Let's find out on a 1-2. And it is a breaking ball that he fouls away to the right.
Great hitting right there.
But that's a bad pitch. For me, that's a bad pitch. It's a strike the whole time.
Yeah, that's strike to strike.
This is a strike out of the hand, right? So, Cal Raleigh wants it away. That's right down the middle. That's a mistake for me.
Did you see he fought it off, though? He's still ready for that fastball up, isn't he?
1-2 pitch is a fastball up, and it's fouled away.
There it is.
I love hearing you guys keep going with the sequencing. What are you thinking right now?
I still think if he can execute that good slider, like AJ said, down and away, strike to ball, that's the pitch to get him right here.
If he could throw him a changeup, which he would never do, I don't think, he would punch him. He'd spin him into the ground, Bugs Bunny.
Very rarely has he thrown the changeup this year. Would he throw it right on right here to Torres? 1-2 is a fastball that saws him off. It's bounced to first, grabbed by Naylor, walked to the bag for the second out. On to second base in scoring position goes Parker Meadows. And that will bring up Kerry Carpenter. with a man in scoring position and 2 down.
This is the old jam sandwich right there.
Sounds delicious.
Not if you're a hitter, it doesn't.
Whoa. Yeah, coming right into your kitchen there. Slash living room if you're watching at home.
Bob Gibson used to say in big moments he loved making the bat shorter. Right there, he just made the bat really, really short.
Not a lot of room there.
37 miles an hour exit velo. that ball, if Josh Naylor doesn't pick it up, doesn't even get to the infield dirt.
Perfectly safe.
While we got a moment, a quick word from Capital One.
What's been the highlight of your career?
And that'd have to be
Bank guy.
I've always been passionate about no fees or minimums on checking accounts.
What's in your wallet?
Tom Verducci, Kerry Carpenter to the plate against Kirby here.
Yeah, interesting mound visit with the base open. You guys mentioned the history between the two. Green on deck has been vulnerable to that high fastball. Interesting choice here for Kirby. How aggressive to be with Carpenter.
Not tonight. I don't pitch around him, Tom. Kirby's been too good, and he's been able to locate that ball up.
Slider down the right field line towards the corner, and that will drop in foul.
But he was inches away from making us all look good.
I don't even think you have to go inches at any point to make any of the three of us feel a little silly.
I don't know you put him on, but you definitely pitch him tough. This is 0-2 every pitch right here. Just like they have to pitch Cal Raleigh, this is how they go 0-2 right here every pitch. Strike the ball, strike the ball, strike the ball. If you throw something in strike zone, it's got to be ball to strike.
You're in that pocket right now for this Detroit Tiger lineup. All the power is really centralized in the 2, 3, and 4 hitters. Carpenter, Green, and Torkelson. A 1 is a close pitch that goes Kirby's way. 0-2, and that flips the feeling of this at bat. Little runner.
Gets the crowd going. And the Tigers just need a hit with runners in scoring position. They're 7 for 41 in the postseason and 0 for 6 so far tonight. We're only in the 5th inning.
Chance after chance after chance for Detroit. Kirby trying to finish off the frame with an 0-2 pitch to Carpenter. Close pitch this time does not go Kirby's way, and Carpenter still going, much to the chagrin of 40,000 partisans.
That was a great, perfectly executed pitch. He gave him a little bit off the plate the previous pitch. Hey, if you're giving it to me, I'll go back there, see if you do it again.
1-2 delivery. Carpenter swings, launches it to right, and the Tigers will lead. That is gone, and Carpenter comes up clutch in the Division Series again. And he gets the best of Kirby again.
Wow.
Numbers against Kirby in his career. When he swings and makes contact, he does not get cheated. 2-1 Tigers.
Didn't get it in.
Yep.
First of all, 3 heaters in a row trying to go to the same spot. Kerry Carpenter made the adjustment. That one didn't get in. That one didn't come back.
Here's Green.
And you know, as a hitter, when somebody throws one in on you and then they try to come in and leave it over the plate, it just looks right down. It looks just so neat. Look at that. He knows it right away.
In towards center field, Rodriguez coming. He has to speed up, and it's going to fall down. It's a base hit for Riley Green. Rodriguez maybe trying to get a read on it, was turning on the jets to try to catch up to it as it drops down for a 2-out single. Back to the 2-run shot from Carpenter.
Well, Tom Verducci said, would you question pitching around him? Maybe you should have. But that ball, that's a great view. That is an incredible view by our crew in the umpire camp. Carpenter knew it. Kirby knew it. Big hit for the Tigers.
Here's Torkelson taking a strike. Man, it was Kerry Carpenter in Game 2 of the Division Series last year that helped flip a game when he homered off of Emmanuel Clase in that series for his first career playoff shot. This one gives the Detroit Tigers the lead on the road here in game 1 in the 5th.
Isn't it amazing, though? We just throw out all these numbers about how they're struggling, men in scoring position, this, that. One swing flips the entire game. The pressure goes from on the Tigers to score to now it's all on the Mariners, and the fans know it. That's why you hear boos.
This crowd is completely different.
This time, Rehak says he went around. It's 1-2 on Torkelson.
That's that nasty breaking ball right there. I would have liked to have seen him. Now, hindsight's 20/20, obviously, but he didn't give him a chance to chase one of those back foot sliders like he had thrown earlier, but he got the bad swing on.
I just got to go back to Kerry Carpenter. He has 5 hits off George Kirby. They're all homers.
Man,
that was a tank bomb, too.
I just don't know what it feels like to only have homers off a guy, especially for five hits, 5 homers. Not singles, not doubles, homers.
2-2 pitch on the ground to short. Crawford will flip to Polanco. It was Rodriguez with a solo shot for Seattle, and then Carpenter with a blast off of Kirby. The ownage continues. Kirby knows it. The Tigers lead. We're halfway through in game 1. Playoff home run. It was a tank off of Kirby. And that flips the game, puts the Tigers in front as we hit the halfway point of game 1. Brant Herter, pitched in the wild card series, was charged with an earned run. He takes over here in the 5th. And he deals to the lefty Dominic Canzone, who had more opportunities to hit against lefties this season. That was part of a strong year. He ended up hitting lefties okay as the season went on.
Well, this is the pocket that A.J. Hinch wanted Herter for right here. 2 out of 3 lefties, Canzone. Righty in the middle, Robles, and then Crawford. He's a sinker sweeper guy, and lefties just do not hit his sweeper. 129 average. That's the pitch. That's why he's in here. They just went up. Get me 3 outs. Give us a chance to try to score more.
Breaking ball popped up on the Bermuda Triangle. It'll be the center fielder Meadows there to make the catch, and Canzone's retired. A Herter who got his first career save in the 2nd series of the season, and it came here in Seattle. Mariners and Tigers met 6 times, all of them in the first half. They met in the 2nd series of the season and then in the final series before the All-Star break. Robles will take a strike. 4 of 6 won by Seattle, including sweeping Detroit at Comerica Park before the All-Star break. Tigers took 2 of 3 here in Seattle. Popped up by Robles. Dingler with the mask off. Underneath, 2 down. Well, coverage of game 2 between the Yankees and Blue Jays will take place tomorrow at 3 Eastern on FS1. We'll have game 2 of this series at 8 o'clock Eastern, 5 o'clock Pacific time. Then on Monday, the National League takes center stage. Dodgers will have a 1-0 lead on the road against the Phillies, while the Brewers will try to go up 2-0 against their former manager, Craig Counsell. J.P. Crawford takes strike 1 from Herter.
And now that Herter's in and obviously Melton is out of the game, this is where A.J. Hinch thrives as a manager. Matchups, picking out lanes for guys to pitch in. Who does he want to face who?
And he brings in Herter with that pocket of lefties, and Herter throws a 1-2-3 5th. It's 2-1 Tigers to the 6th. All things considered, still one of the better starts that George Kirby has ever had against the Tigers. 5 innings, just the 2-run Kerry Carpenter homer and the 8 strikeouts. The Tigers have the lead to the 6th. It is Caleb Ferguson, the left-hander, into the game for Seattle. And Jahmai Jones will pinch hit for Colt Keith. Jahmai Jones, a very good year against left-handed pitching. And he faces the left-hander Ferguson here in the 6th.
He had, almost 1,000 OPS against left-handed pitching this year. And Caleb Ferguson's coming into, he was thinking he was going to face some lefties, but he's very good against righties because he throws a cutter that we just saw right there that has been very effective. And The crowd's getting a little restless here at Old
Yeah,
T-Mobile.
They've waited a while.
Jones will take a strike, and it's 2-1.
They want it so bad in this city right now for this great Mariner team.
Best team they've had in a quarter century since the 116 win Mariners of 2001. Jones sitting at 2-2. He had 7 pinch hits this year. It's a spot he's comfortable stepping into. He did it for Riley Green in the wild card series. 970 OPS, and all 7 of his homers against left-handed pitching.
That's why he's on the roster. That's why he's on this team.
Ferguson's 2-2 is fouled away.
And you just keep seeing George. He can't stop pacing in the dugout because he knows how close he was to having an excellent outing. He had great stuff. He was in total control all day until those last couple pitches.
Two again. Count runs full. Dingler is on deck. Seventh pitch coming to Jahmai Jones. And that's in the dirt. Jones with a leadoff pinch hit walk. Well, back to the big moment for Kerry Carpenter.
Yeah, that was 110 off the bat, that foul ball right there. Got some generous strike call there at the top. Just that was the only one out where he could get extension out over the plate, wasn't it, AJ? That's the highest one, but that was the first one that really gave him a chance to get extended out there, and it was 3 fastballs in a row.
Well, what do all those home runs have in common? They're all right down the middle, in and out. None of them are in, none of them are out. They're all in the middle third. Now they're down, up, middle. But the pitches that he was able to get Kerry Carpenter his first 2 at-bats on were in and down, but mostly they were not in the middle. You cannot throw it, if you're George Kirby, middle.
And I'll tell you, it's the games where you have your best stuff and you let it slip away. Those are the ones that keep you up at night more than the ones that you just don't have it. When you know you were so close, 1 pitch away. He was 1 pitch away. He'll remember that for a while.
Tom Verducci, you can add on.
Yeah, I know A.J. Hinch, like a lot of managers won't do it. Bats his 2 best left-handed hitters back to back. He forces that decision. You saw the left-hander up in the bullpen. I think that was only if Gleyber Torres got on base. But with 2 outs and a base open, I guarantee you before this game they said don't get beat on a high fastball to Kerry Carpenter, the best high fastball hitter on the team. I'd like the mound visit. I think it was just a mistake of execution.
And you called it, Tom.
Yep.
We got to give you credit. You called it and questioned it right away. Looking back is always easy, but it was more about execution, like you said, than it was selection.
3-1 here on Dingler. And that's something that we've come to know about A.J. Hinch. Very rarely does he like to have the same lineup from game to game to game. So mixing in those 2 left-handed hitters, that's not something we saw in the wild card series.
He's a master.
In the air. Going out is the second baseman in Polanco, and that's going to fall between he and Robles. They still have a force at second, and they will get it. Tough spot for Jahmai Jones to be in, but he couldn't get the break fast enough to try to hustle in a second. Heads up play out in right field by Robles, who's got a great arm and was able to get the force out at second base, and there's 1 down.
There's nothing you can do as the guy on first, because if Polanco catches this and you're too far off, you're going to be out at first, and Robles barehands and throws a perfect strike to J.P. Crawford at second. That's an impossible read. It's an impossible play as the base runner.
2 down for McKinstry, and he will take a strike. Polanco kind of overran the ball. Nice play by Robles to recover. 1 out, beg your pardon. I think I said 2. 1 down. So in at third now is Suarez. McKinstry fouls one down the line. It's 0-2.
Literally, when I say there's nothing you can do, he was pretty far off.
Sure.
Jones was. And if Polanco catches that, he was close enough to where he could get back. But because Polanco barely touched it and the hustle from Robles to be there, and then the bare hand perfect throw, you're just out. And it stinks. It takes a hit away from your buddy, and it gives him an out. Those are what I think, Wayno, those are the things as a former base runner. Because I wasn't very fast.
Really?
So when you couldn't get your guy an extra hit here and there, those are the ones you're just like, I'm sorry, man. Like, I'm so
sorry, buddy. A lot of my bads.
I'm sorry. It was more I'm sorry.
McKinstry staying alive as he's fought off a couple, and now it's 1-2.
I'm sorry. You got to blame my mom and dad. It's not my fault I'm slow, you know?
Tension still in the air here in Seattle. Here's a 1-2 pitch from Ferguson to McKinstry. Off the end of the bat, flipped out towards Julio Rodriguez. And he's got it for the second out.
Want more postseason stats? Just ask Siri. Who has the most career postseason home runs?
Manny Ramirez at the top of that list. 29 of them all time. Mariners eliminated Altuve with a late season sweep against Houston. That's it for Ferguson. Deeper into the pen go the Mariners. Ways to play this great game. To learn more, including how to find a league near you, playball.org, and follow Playball on X, Facebook, and Instagram. Here comes Edward Bizzardo in the 6th inning with a runner at first and 2 down. He'll face Javi Baez, one of the most heavily used relievers this year. In fact, the second most heavily used behind the lefty Gabe Spire for Seattle. Baez fouls away the first pitch.
Bizzardo had a nice year for these Mariners out of the bullpen. It became a weapon for him. One thing, he's got one little hitch, gives up some homers.
Yep.
And other than that, he's really solid.
Outside 1-1.
Those first 2 pitches right there to Javi, that shows you the different hitter that he is this year. He took a rip on a very good slider the first pitch, and then he took the second one. He swings at that every time last year.
Pops it up on a breaking ball, something he's hit much better this year, as you mentioned, Wayno, by a wide margin. But that slider from Bizzardo gets him out. And now the Mariners look to do damage with the top of their order. Arozarena, Raleigh, and Rodriguez coming up. 15th career appearance in the playoffs, first away from Houston. He deals with Randy Arozarena and a splitter, which is his favorite pitch, to get a strike.
You're going to see a lot of those from him. He's almost 50% split. Since he's come to Detroit, he's been really good with a lot of splits, 4-seamer slider. Opponents do not hit that split finger. And this is where A.J. Hinch thrives. Pitching chaos, he calls it. They have the lead. They're into the 6th. He can do his matchups. Here comes Montero to match up with the righties. Then he'll go to the lefty, Holton probably for Naylor and Polanco. Then he'll have his righties, Finnegan and Vest, if they continue to have the lead for 8 and 9. So this is exactly where A.J. Hinch wanted this game. And here he goes, the parade of relievers, because they have the ultimate trump card tomorrow starting for them.
Tarek Skubal, the front runner for the Cy Young Award once again. Right on cue, AJ, there is the lefty Tyler Holton. So you're starting to see the game take shape in AJ Hinch's mind. 2-2 to Randy Arozarena is outside. It's full. So he's worked back in the count after being down 0-2. Payoff. Ball 4. Good plate appearance by Rosarena after he was down in the count, 0-2, and now the tying run is aboard for Cal Raleigh. Ball one outside. That's 5 straight out of the zone from Montero and another splitter.
Be real careful right here. Real careful. I know Cal Raleigh, it comes obvious, but be careful.
Staying away.
I mean, Randy get on there is just that complicates things so much for them.
2-0 pitch. Right center field towards the gap. Meadows will not get there. Rosarena turns on the Jets, and he'll go first to third. The throw is late.
Really nice base running by Randy Rosarena. 2-0 split. Cal Raleigh gets, dumps it into right field. Probably not even, maybe not even a strike. Randy Rosarena on first reads this beautifully. And as soon as he sees this down, when you have a right-handed throwing outfielder going to his left, it makes it an easy read for somebody with any kind of speed, because they're not going to do the spin. They're going to try and get that ball into second. He makes it to third, and the Mariners are in business.
And now it's Rodriguez with a Rosarena at third and Raleigh at first. Through the right side, this game is tied. Rodriguez, his second run driven in. It's a 2-2 game in the 6th. Oh, the tension release. You could feel it sitting in this building as Rodriguez, with the top of this Mariners order, they generate a run against Montero. We're tied again in the 6th in game 1. Is sponsored by Liberty Mutual. And Julio Rodriguez, after a little bit of a sluggish first half, controversial All-Star pick, did not go to the All-Star game, said he wanted to rest up for the second half, and he was very productive after. He's got both Seattle RBIs tonight. Tyler Holton is in, Josh Naylor at the plate, lefty-lefty matchup, and it's a ball to start.
Yes, but Holton also can get righties out. That's why he's in here. Yes, he needs to get Naylor out. Julio Rodriguez driven in both Seattle runs with the home run and then the single. Holton's out there to try to get a ground ball. Sinker's his best pitch. Can he get a ground ball, get a double play, get the Tigers out of this inning?
There's a strike. Holton was a starter at times as well. Kind of used him in the opener role a few times, but 64 relief appearances during the regular campaign for Tyler Holton. Montero, 3 batters, all 3 reach. A walk, 2 hits, and a run in, and he's responsible for both men on base. Naylor chops it over Holton. It's the shortstop right there. Baez tags. Baez throws. Torkelson lunges out to hold on, and it's a 6-3 double play.
Wow. Just what the doctor ordered. What a play by Javi Baez. But what bad base running by Julio Rodriguez. I'm sorry, you cannot let him tag you.
You got to fall down there.
You just cannot let him tag you. Because if you just stop, he's got to make a decision. And Baez tags him, and then a perfect throw to get Naylor.
We've seen it out of Javi for years, too. His instincts in the infield are maybe the best in all of baseball.
Alan Porter is the crew chief. Dan Wilson perhaps considering a challenge here.
Well, they're going to challenge whether he had the ball in his glove because it was in his bare hand. So I don't know how this works.
Seattle is challenging the out call at second base and the out call at first base.
Well, challenging both.
Well, you might as well challenge them both.
He's definitely out at first because he never touched first, so he's definitely out.
This will be the replay review. It's presented by Zoom, and a look into the replay review center.
He's out. I mean, I don't know how you can say he doesn't touch him.
He tags him with his glove and his hand, I think.
That's
right?
that's what I'm thinking. And then Naylor's out because he never touched first. So, I mean, as long as Torkelson touched the base at some point, I mean, for me, he's out.
Yeah, but is he out of the line anyways?
And then right there, he's out. Well, he can't be out of the line. You can't review that. So
he gets him there.
To me, the question is the ball is in his bare hand, but it's also in his glove. So does that count as one thing? If it was like, let's say he touched him with his glove and it's clearly out of his glove in his bare hand, then he would be safe. But the ball is in his glove as far as I mean, the way I would think.
I think unless you see separation there, that's considered in the glove, right?
That's typically what the replay center and the guys that are taking a look at this are looking for. If there's clear separation where the ball is out of the glove, then you can make a determination if it's just glove or just hand. Ooh. You see a little bit of separation there, but the ball still seems to be in the glove. And usually umpires, when they see that, typically consider all of the mass, all of the matter that's in the hands, all collective. So if there's contact with the runner, then it would be out.
I was 100% convinced until I saw that last one.
Sure.
Like, ooh, there is a little bit of separation there, but is it enough, though? I think it's still in the glove. But
After review, the call at second base is confirmed. The runner is out. The call at first base is also confirmed. The runner is out.
Huge
Seattle
double
has one
play.
challenge remaining.
One challenge left for Dan Wilson. Plus, when you get into the 7th inning, you get into crew chief review territory. A couple of warm-up tosses for Holton, but a huge play by El Mago.
Yeah, this was the one I was like, ooh, his hand kind of separates out of the glove there for a second, but it's still in. I think it's still in
the vicinity of the
mitt. In the vicinity of the inside of the glove, yeah.
Well, you said it earlier. The instincts of Javi Baez, you saw him in Chicago for years. He got the nickname El Mago, the magician, because of his instincts with his glove. You saw 2 great tags that he applied in the wild card series. He got Jose Ramirez at second base on a throw by Dingler when he was trying to steal. Raleigh's still the go-ahead run at third for Polanco. He's batting right-handed here against the left-handed throwing Holton. There are the splits.
Just a huge double play.
Oh, 1 pitch. Polanco will hold off, and it's 1-1.
Well, that's why they brought Holton into the game, to get the double play. Sinker's his best pitch. You got exactly. I don't think that's the way they would have drawn it up.
Sure.
With the great play by Baez, but he got 2 outs on 1 pitch, and now if he can get Polanco, he can get out of this inning and keep it tied.
Polanco under the hands. He takes a strike. He thought with some of the maneuvering, with how far inside he believed that pitch was, it was going to be called a ball. Instead, Holton clips it, and it's 1-2.
Now he's worked both sides of the plate exactly on the corner both times. See what he finishes him with.
Oh, breaking ball, and that's a Polanco's defensive swing to stay alive. That cutter was riding in on him.
So I really like that sequence right there. Cutter on the corner, then you take him a little bit farther in. He swung off the plate in even more. You've got him in swing mode right there. If you're Holton, now the outside part of the plate is wide open.
1-2. And it's 2 balls and 2 strikes. Laid off the changeup. This has been one of Polanco's best seasons, hitting from the right side against left-handed pitching. One of his best power seasons for the veteran big leaguer. 2-2 pitch to right field. Carpenter back, now on it, and he's got it. And the inning is over. But Julio Rodriguez and the top of the Mariners order generate a run. He's driven in both for Seattle, and it's a 2-2 game 1. To the late innings we go in the Pacific Northwest. Late innings in game 1, tied up at 2 apiece, and it's Gabe Spire, the most heavily used Seattle reliever this year, facing the left-hander Parker Meadows. Meadows will take a strike in the 9 spot, then back to the top for Torres, a righty, and then the 2 big lefties, Carpenter and Green, for Spire, who had really good swing and miss stuff during the season.
He did. It's fastball slider. And he has come in because he has dominated lefties this year, especially with that combination. And here's the pocket of lefties. You mentioned the back-to-back lefties last inning. Well, here you go. Meadows lefty, Glaber righty, and then you get Carpenter and Green. This is where Spire is meant to pitch if you're Dan Wilson and these Mariners.
Oh-2 to Meadows from Spire. There's the swing and miss on the slider. At home this year, 49 strikeouts to just 2 walks. And look at the numbers against lefties in particular. Major league average for strikeout percentage is like 22-23. Against lefties, he's at 38%. Wow.
With the most appearances of anyone in all of baseball, right?
76 of them. Back to the top. Here's the righty Torres.
Just ho-humming 98 in there, too, from the left side, AJ.
Everybody throws 98, it feels like nowadays.
Say, yeah. It's been the story of the postseason and the story of baseball. Especially these bullpens, man. And Seattle and San Diego feel like the two best in terms of stacking the back ends of these bullpens. This has been a very common occurrence for Seattle this year. 7, 8, 9 for the most part has lined up very nicely for Dan Wilson. Great look from Umcam at that called strike on a fastball. One, two. Fouled away. Torres had the double in the third to lead off that Tigers frame, but the next 3 were retired in order. He struck out and grounded out as well tonight. Spires 1-2. Got him with a slider, froze him.
Just a perfect slider down and in. Glaber Torres does not like the call, but it's a strike. Cal Raleigh, the Platinum Glove winner back there, frames it up nicely, so Alex Tosi can ring him up.
Another lefty, and here is Carpenter, who had the big blow for the Tigers. A 2-run blast off of Kirby in the 5th, but he's behind 0-1. One and one.
Joe Carey's squinting. He needs stronger contact or something.
Staring down Spire for this 1-1. Outside 2-1. Spire's healthy again, and man, has he looked it over the course of the season. He's had a couple of rocky years, not a lot of smooth sailing until being healthy this year. Breaking ball past him and into the glove of the shortstop Crawford, who throws out Carpenter. A 1-2-3, Spire 7th. It's stretch time in Seattle. Wear what the players are wearing on field during the postseason. Check out the largest selection of authentic jerseys, caps, hoodies, t-shirts, and more. MLBshop.com. Bottom of the 7th, tied at 2. Game 1. Eugenio Suarez to the plate against Tommy Kahnle. Big cut on that first pitch. Changeup. What do you know? The guy who throws almost nothing but changeups.
It's so interesting to me. This guy comes in and throws almost exclusively changeups, and these hitters, they have a hard time timing it up still.
Right there, another changeup for a guy who at one point threw 61 straight last year.
It's down the middle and thigh high, and it still works even though you know it's coming. That's how good a changeup this is.
Well, I'll tell you why it works after we see this pitch. From a hitter's perspective, why it still works. Here's the thing. He still throws 95 miles an hour.
Does he? I mean, he does, but like,
But
do you have to worry about it?
as a hitter, all it takes is to get embarrassed one time, and it gets you right off that changeup. And in the back of every hitter's mind, they say, I just don't want to be embarrassed getting the bat get blown away by a fastball. And Tommy Kahnle has a really good arm action, and he has really good movement. And he's been doing this for a couple years. And still successful.
Doing it in the playoffs a lot. 29th career postseason appearance, the most for any Tigers pitcher. 3 balls and 2 strikes on Eugenio Suarez.
And this is what we saw earlier with the Randy Arozarena at bat, where they threw two on the plate where he could offer at it, but then those last 3 right here again have been unofferable.
Suarez towards left center field. Back it goes. Green and Meadows are there, and Meadows, who's got the best speed on this team and might be one of the best defenders for Detroit, runs it down. And there's 1 down here in the 7th.
The formula
Troy
for
Melton,
success
Go ahead, Wayno.
before the game, Troy Melton had to give him some length. He had to use all his pitches. He did that today. The Mariners had to keep him in the park. For the most part, they've done that, and they've had a little bit of timely hitting. They've done all those to some degree, so that's why they're in the game.
Now Canzone flips a change up towards left. Riley Green is there waiting for the 2nd out. Week 5 of the NFL season. In fact, we're looking down over at Lumen Field where the Seahawks play, but we've got a great doubleheader tomorrow. Cowboys are heading to New York to take on the Jets, who have struggled out of the gate. Are expecting to see Jaden Daniels, though, back for the Commanders at quarterback. Great matchup in the late window. Our buddy Kevin Burkhardt will be on the call with Tom Brady, Aaron Andrews, and Tom Rinaldi. Many of you will also see Lions and Bengals. There's the home of the 12s. Seahawks have gotten off to a nice start. We're in Soto, south of downtown in Seattle, and you get the opportunity to go from one park to another. Tomorrow is going to be a very fun Sunday here, baby. You're going to check it out for the first time. You'll be at Lumen Field.
I'm doing it. They're playing
Tampa Bay tomorrow. Yep. Here's Luke Raley. He's going to come in as a pinch hitter for Victor Robles with 2 outs against Kahnle. And a strike on just the 2nd ever postseason plate appearance for Luke Raley, his first in 4 years since he faced Adam Wainwright in the 2021 wildcard game for the Dodgers and struck out. And he's behind 0-2 on Kahnle.
That wasn't his fault. That guy was nasty.
Whoever that guy was pitching in Los Angeles that night. Catching screaming line drives off the bat of Justin Turner.
That was a fun night. Almost fun. Almost fun.
0-2 pitch, and he got him with a fastball. There's the fastball as Kahnle comes back with it. And here come the Tigers now as we head to the 8th. 3, 4, and 5 due up. Green, Torkelson, and Jones.
Per cut. But he makes it work. He strikes out a lot, but he also hits homers and drives in runs.
First pitch swinging, though, and he flies it out to the new right fielder, Raley, and it's Rodriguez, the center fielder, stepping in to make the play. The ball always seems to find you when you check right into the game. That was the case for Raley, but Rodriguez flagged it down for the 1st out. So Spire faces that lefty in green, and now A.J. Hinch will send out Torkelson, and Dan Wilson will make the pitching change. Matt Brash checks in with the bases empty and 1 out in the 8th, dealing to the right-hander Spencer Torkelson. 53 regular season appearances for the Canadian.
Slider heavy, 61% sliders. And he's coming in to face these righties for the Tigers, and you're going to get sliders.
Got one right there, and it's fouled, 0-2. Wencel Perez, a switch hitter, has picked up a bat with Jahmai Jones, the right-hander, due up. Slider, no swing, says Rehak, 1-2.
Now see how aggressive he was right there. That pitch is at least a foot off the plate, and he almost swung at it. The dangerous thing right now for a pitcher is to throw a slider on the plate. You have to take it back out there farther if you're going to again.
Two-two pitch, and the count runs full.
So now he's taken out. Now you've got him leaning out over the plate, though. His eyes are pointed out over that outer half of the plate. Now does he do something in is the question.
No, absolutely not.
If he throws the slider, it's got to be buried in the middle of the plate, I think.
And he throws a fastball outside, so Torkelson, after being down in the count 0-2, is able to work back with a walk. And the go-ahead run is aboard for A.J. Hinch with 1 out in the 8th inning.
He wasn't. You didn't have him coming in right there, A.J.
Listen, Torkelson does damage on balls in.
Yeah.
There was absolutely zero chance that he was going to try and throw a ball anywhere inside. I thought he'd throw a slider. He threw a heater and walked him.
Yeah.
Now you get the pinch hitter Perez to try to negate the slider that Brash throws.
So the pitching coach, Pete Woodworth, is out there to go over the scouting report. The bullpen for the Mariners did get some work in during the week. This is the first time that Brash is pitching since September the 25th in a game. But during the week, the scrimmages that the teams that had a bye to the Division Series typically held during the week, all the bullpen pitchers, all the relievers for Dan Wilson got a chance to get some work in this week. Indeed, it will be Perez who had the big 2-run single in Game 3 to help blow the game open for Detroit against Cleveland. He climbs in and he takes a ball.
If you saw his eyes right there when he got in the plate, just did it again. He's looking at that left side of the infield like he sees that big hole at short.
Staying away is Brash, and it's a ball and a strike. Perez grounds a slider foul, and it's 1-2.
You aren't hitting that pitch to short.
No, you're not. So if you're looking at short, you don't even swing at it.
Fouled away. Tigers have 1 hit with a runner on base. It was the Kerry Carpenter 2-run home run that at the time gave Detroit a 2-1 lead in the 5th. Mariners answered back with a second Julio Rodriguez RBI in the 6th. And Perez sends one down the right field line towards the corner over Israeli, and it's out of play.
That's the danger of throwing all these breaking balls to lefties. When you make a mistake, especially down and in, as you know, Wayno, they can get the barrel out.
Especially if it's on the plate, coming back into the swing, super dangerous. He got away with one.
Close pitch just above the top of the zone, and it's 2-2.
It's amazing. Brash throws 60% sliders. He also has 99 in the tank.
I was just thinking the same thing.
He doesn't use it very often because his slider has been so effective.
2-strike offering, and there's the sinker at 97 for the strikeout.
The straight gas. See, you call it a sinker, Adam. I still don't think that's a sinker. It's more of just a two-seam runner.
Yeah.
Because it's not going down. A sinker goes down. That is just a two-seamer.
Dingler takes ball 1.
That they want the horizontal movement with the velocity. That's why they throw it at the top of the zone. Because there used to be an old saying, high sinkers only sink over the fence.
1-0 pitch to Dingler.
High sinkers didn't used to be 99 either.
Tailed the slider back in for a called strike. Torkelson the 1-out walk. Now 2 down. Brash fires in a strike. Clip the corner, and it's 1 ball and 2 strikes in the 8th in a tie game. He struck him out. Brash comes on, punches out a pair. 2-2 to the bottom of the 8th. Loud. So the Mariners in a tie game in the bottom of the 8th have a 28% chance to score this inning. The Mariners had the most one-run victories in Major League Baseball this year with 31. The Tigers had the best winning percentage in one-run games this year. They won 22 of 34. Kyle Finnegan deals to J.P. Crawford to start the 8th with a strike.
Kyle Finnegan, traded over from the Nationals, has been great, absolutely great with Detroit. 3-0, 1.5 ERA, fastball split, and the split is his pitch.
J.P. Crawford out to center field. There goes Meadows at the wall, and he's there. And pitcher-friendly T-Mobile Park helps out Kyle Finnegan to retire J.P. Crawford.
That was close right there. He got that split, and he located it. JP just went down and got it. Luckily for Finnegan, it was to the deepest part of the field.
One away, top of the order, Randy Arozarena. You get that marine layer here in Seattle. Low elevation. We're near sea level. The environment has a lot of effect on the ball because the air is dense, so the balls don't travel as far in that marine layer. Arozarena's got popped though, and he was looking for some right there. Big swing on a splitter. 1-1.
We're near sea level. Heck, the sea is like 50
It's
feet.
like right there.
Puget Sound is not very far.
Yep. Raleigh on deck as they chant Randy in Seattle. Fouled away, 1-2. Got a fastball that time. And Arozarena on that splitter stays alive. He had to go down to a knee. Still 1 ball and 2 strikes.
If you want to know why you miss fastballs down the middle, that split looks just like that fastball. Same tunneling and everything, and then one just drops off the table.
Arozarena out towards right center field. Well struck ball, but Carpenter's back again. 2 down.
Well, that's 2. That scared Adam Amin and Adam Wainwright. Their heart skipped a little beat if you're a Tiger fan. Both balls struck well, but both have been caught just on the warning track.
Even Kerry Carpenter. Oh. And now it's Cal Raleigh. The game has built to this moment. Finnegan against Raleigh in a tie game in the 8th. And there's a strike with the splitter.
At no point in time are you giving Cal Raleigh anything on the plate to hit right here.
Unless it's an absolute mistake. He's going to see all splits. And he's pretty much seen all off speed this entire game. So you see where Dingler's set up. He's set up off the plate away.
And Raleigh is able to send it the other way into left center field. Handles the splitter to put the go-ahead run on base. The Mariners have 5 hits, all of them between Raleigh and the man coming to the plate in Julio Rodriguez.
So you take that, though, if you're the Tigers.
Yeah.
It's going to take an extra base hit off Julio's bat to score Cal Raleigh, or maybe 2 hits. So you take that. Yes, Julio has 2 hits, Cal has 3 hits, but he's on first.
That's right.
So that's a win. Yes, you'd rather get him out, but if he's going to get a hit, that's a win.
He made him swing off the plate.
Rodriguez takes a strike on a splitter.
I think that's the second hit on a broken bat as well. I mean, they're making him hit pitches that he's not driving.
And he's expanded his strike zone, which Cal Raleigh's been really good at not doing. Yes, he's getting hits, but there's no power on it.
On the ground, foul. Both RBIs for Seattle belong to Rodriguez. He got the scoring going with a blast to center field in the 4th off of Troy Melton, tonight's Detroit starter, and drove in the game-tying run in the 6th of Rafael Montero.
You want to see no doubles defense?
Yeah.
Riley Green is holding up the left field wall. He's so close to it.
Oh, tough take on a splitter, but it's 1-2. Yep.
Riley Green, that's as deep as you can play.
Yep.
Parker Meadows would go back. This is the definition of no doubles defense, because they do not want Cal Raleigh to score on a single hit.
He's at first, 2 down. A 1-2 pitch from Finnegan to Rodriguez. Broken bat down the line, foul.
I mean, I'm looking around. I don't know where that ball is that scores him from first, unless it's like maybe to that deep little point there in center, but
Maybe down the right, if he hits one down the right field corner.
Yeah.
And he gets stuck down there, but right, I don't know if I've ever seen an outfield play as deep as they are right now.
I thought for a second Rodriguez had a shard of that bat fly off. 1-2 again. Outside 2-2.
They just have to make Julio hit something on that outer third of the plate or off the plate. Can't keep challenging him middle in and having good results.
High drama in the 8th of game 1. And Rodriguez goes down on the splitter. And Kyle Finnegan comes on and leaves Raleigh sitting at first base. Big time pitches from the Detroit bullpen. Holton, Canely, and now Finnegan. To the 9th we go, tied. Andres Munoz. Fans in Seattle have come to know him for his 98-mile-an-hour fastball, hence the nickname Senor Smoke. He's got one of the elite sliders to go along with it. His fastball is punched by Zach McKinstry down the left field line. Arena's there, and it's one pitch to get the first down of the 9th for Andres Munoz.
It's amazing. His name is Senor Smoke because he throws 100. And he throws 50% sliders. It's just the way the game is now. It's amazing, these guys, the stuff they have, the arm they have. But he's been as good as any closer in baseball. And the back end of this Mariners bullpen is trouble. But so far in this game, the Tigers have matched them pitch for pitch.
This has been an exceptional game 1 to start this series. Here's Baez with 1 down. Ball 1 on that slider. You see the save leaders this year, 3rd behind Carlos Estevez and Robert Suarez. There's the slider, and it's 1-1. You mentioned it last time Baez was up, Waino. Baez has been much better hitting the breaking balls. He's over 300 against breaking balls this year. Part of that swing adjustment being closer to the plate. He fouls this one down the third baseline, 1-2.
He got away with one there.
And this was last year. Baez against Munoz hit a go-ahead home run.
That's the dangerous thing right there. When Javi's got his eyes out over the plate, you hang that slider or just even throw a thigh high outside, dangerous.
Line drive to third. It's caught by Suarez.
Like right there. That's danger zone. Look, Javi knows it too. He
101.
He had 2 pitches to crush right there.
.101 off the bat of Baez. Suarez was there for it. 2 down here in the 9th inning. And the number 9 hitter is Parker Meadows. He has singled and scored one of the 2 Detroit runs tonight. He takes a fastball off the plate for ball 1. Bottom of the 9th inning for Seattle will have Naylor, Polanco, and Suarez. Middle of the order. Munoz deals, and Meadows swings and misses. 1-1. Munoz pitching in the postseason for the first time since a scoreless 8th inning in that 18-inning marathon against Houston 3 years ago. Slider swung on and missed. It's 1-2. Spikes one, 2-2. Back towards Munoz, he makes the catch. And Meadows cannot believe it. Right back up the middle, Munoz holds on and Meadows just flips it away. The bat in disbelief. We are tied to the bottom of the 9th in Game 1. This one will have Game 2 at 8 Eastern, 5 Pacific. On Monday, the National League has the stage. Dodgers, Phillies, Cubs, Brewers. Dodgers and Brewers have 1-0 series leads. Josh Naylor will lead things off for the Mariners in the bottom of the 9th inning against Will Vest. Vest, who was drafted by Detroit but debuted in his major league career for Seattle. Now in his 4th year back with the Tigers. Naylor, first pitch swinging, flips it. Baez, the shortstop, is there. 1 pitch, 1 out in the bottom of the 9th inning. Our Fox Super 6 comes your way, sponsored by DraftKings. Will Vest has a couple of playoff saves. Game 2 of the wild card series in Houston last year. Game 1 of the wild card series at Cleveland this year. Pitched in both victories for Detroit. And a fastball to Polanco is in there for a strike. Traditionally, this has been the side of the plate that Polanco has been better. Breaking ball gets popped up. Baez waiting a long time for out number 2. How about that? 3 pitches, 2 down.
Polanco's done a lot of damage to the Tigers throughout his career with Minnesota, and now here he gets through that. And now you only get to face a guy who hit 49 home runs. Yep. Not 60, just 49.
The prodigal son, Eugenio Suarez, a fan favorite from their playoff run 3 years ago. Vest just misses with a fastball.
And don't forget, he came up with the Tigers a long, long time ago. He was a shortstop. And I don't think the Tigers ever thought they would see the power out of Gino Suarez, but he's turned himself into a terrific player.
Originally signed as a free agent in 2008 from Venezuela, made his major league debut in 2014. Was with the Tigers for a cup of coffee before being traded to Cincinnati. Waves and misses at a fastball, 1-2.
He's got one thing on his mind, Wayno.
Yep, no doubt.
And that is ending this game with a walk-off homer.
He's top 5 in baseball this year. 1-2. Called, strike 3. He got him to send this thing to extra innings. As we have seen some drama tonight. And what better way to start off this series with extra innings. 2-2 to the 10th we go. When we're done here with this thrilling extra inning contest, the postgame show is presented by Strauss. We'll have it right here on FS1 with our great crew. Sorry about the cans, boys. Top of the Detroit order. Remember, in the postseason, when you go to extra innings, the ghost runner is eliminated. We go back to traditional baseball. And boy, they are getting used to this now in Seattle. Extra innings in the division series. Each of the last 2 playoff games here in Seattle have gone extras. Those are the extra inning records this year. Breaking ball, and Torres hits it to left. Arozarena there for out number 1. Keep this in mind. Munoz just recorded his 4th out. That's only the 2nd time all year he's recorded 4. He's never had to record 5 outs in a game this season. That's something that Dan Wilson was very conscientious about in the back end of the bullpen, because Munoz in the second half last year faded with all the extra outs he was trying to get from one of his top relievers.
Well, throw that out the window.
Yeah. Now in postseason play, highest leverage arms in a big leverage moment like this one with Kerry Carpenter at the plate.
You have to look at this game too. This is game 1. They're unloading the bullpen on both sides. Detroit has the best pitcher in the game going tomorrow. Not that this is a must win for the M's, but it's really important.
The Skubal factor looms large over game 2 for both of these teams. 1-1. Outside 2-1.
Well, not only is Munoz going to being asked to throw multiple innings, Will Vest there's nobody up in the Tigers.
Yeah.
So he's going to run back out there too.
Two and two. Tom Verducci, you can add.
Yeah, you're right, guys. The postseason, the asks just get bigger. Munoz has gotten 6 outs in his career once, and that was 6 years ago.
Wow. 2-2 to Carpenter.
Question for me, and Waino, maybe you can answer this. Yes, it's great if he gets through 2 innings here, but how does he bounce back if they need him tomorrow without having him done this? His pitch count is relatively low, but still, it's an up-down. 2 innings is 2 innings.
He froze him with a slider.
I would say if you can walk into the clubhouse tomorrow, you're available to pitch. That's what I would say. And this is a strike. It just clips the bottom of the zone. Kerry doesn't love it down there. He's an up ball hitter. We already saw that earlier.
Strike 1 to Green. Vest has gone 2 innings multiple times this year for 6 outs. Just to back up AJ's point there. 1-1 on Riley Green.
Well, the Tigers are a little bit different, though. They don't really have a closer like Munoz.
Sure.
It's kind of by committee. So AJ Hinch uses them whenever he needs them to get outs, whenever possible. So it's a little bit different than the way Dan Wilson has used Munoz, only really for 3 outs the entire season.
Yep. Much more solidified for Seattle's back end of the bullpen. The 2-1 to Green. Tried the corner and missed. High leverage count in favor of Green, who fouls it off the end of the bat on that slider. That's the pitch he was looking for, it feels like.
Well, that's what you have to be. Here's the thing, if you're Riley Green right there, you think he's not going to give in to you with Torkelson on deck. So, yeah, you're looking for that slider. It wasn't a very good one to swing at, but he's probably going to get a chance again.
He did, and he waved and missed. Senor Smoke turned to the sliding breaking ball to finish off a 1-2-3-10. Mariners come up in extras. George Kirby got the start for Seattle. Troy Melton got the start for Detroit. Kerry Carpenter had a 2-run home run in the 5th to answer Julio Rodriguez's home run. Rodriguez has both RBIs tonight. His latest in the 6th tied the game. 13 combined pitchers, including Andres Munoz, with the longest outing of his season and the longest outing he's had in quite some time, as Tom Verducci told you. Now Will Vest, who's been in this situation plenty of times, has the bottom of the Seattle order here, starting with the Left-handed hitting Dominic Canzone. 2 lefties due up in this frame. 3, in fact. Remember, Raley came in as a pinch hitter earlier for Victor Robles. So all 3 are lefties slated in this frame against Vest. Feels like has gotten a majority of the late inning roles for A.J. Hinch. Bouncer to second, and Torres throws out Canzone. 1 down.
It's going to take one swing from somebody.
Yep.
It just doesn't seem like they're going to be able to string together 2 or 3 hits. Someone's going to have to run into one to get somebody on the scoreboard, much like Kerry Carpenter did and Julio Rodriguez did.
Here's Raley. Strike 1. 31-year-old from Highland High School in Medina, Ohio. Not far from where the catcher Dingler played his high school ball. 0-2 quickly on Raley. Vest to Raley, and he fouls it back on a fastball. Raley hit 4 home runs in 73 games this year. The last in Detroit, an eventual 15-7 Seattle victory. He hit that off of Casey Mize. 0-2. 1-2.
And not one person here in Seattle is left. They are all on their feet. We're in the 10th inning. We're 3 hours in, and they are all here, except maybe that little baby that might be asleep at this point.
Toughing it out. Raley pops it up. McKinstry. And he's got it for out number 2. Two down for the longest tenured Mariner, J.P. Crawford. .30 years old from Long Beach. Who hit a home run off Justin Verlander in Game 1 of the American League Division Series 3 years ago in Houston. He's had 2 grand slams this year, but he's also been a walk-off king. 7 walk-off plate appearances with the Mariners. Second most in franchise history behind Mitch Haniger.
Wow, I would not have guessed Mitch Haniger had that. You would think Griffey,
sure,
Edgar Martinez, someone like that.
But think about all those late inning crazy games the last few years in this ballpark, right? 1-1 upstairs.
T-Mobile is in the Mariners is like the Giants in their park. It always seems like every time we would come here, they would find a way to walk you off.
Crawford fouls it back, and it's 2 balls and 2 strikes from Vest, who's trying to work a perfect 2 frames.
I always thought as a hitter, you tell your guys don't try to be the hero, because everyone goes up there and says, I'm going to be the hero. I'm going to hit the home run. Try to get on base and string singles together, because everyone wants to be the hero. Everyone wants to get the walk-off homer. It's just so hard when you're trying to do that against these great arms.
2-2 delivery to Crawford. It is swung on and missed, and Vest is fired up. Ends each of his 2 innings of relief with a strikeout. To the 11th we go in Game 1. Sponsored by Wendy's. Tarek Skubal, Luis Castillo. Great matchup set up for tomorrow in Game 2. Skubal coming off that incredible performance in Game 1 on the road, tying a Tigers playoff record, 14 strikeouts. And Castillo, who's been so reliable in big games and has had the opportunity to pitch a lot of them, he's ready to go too. Spencer Torkelson will lead things off for Detroit in the top half of the 11th inning. The new right-hander is Carlos Vargas, who was on 70 times this season. Originally acquired almost 2 years ago from Arizona in exchange for his now third baseman, Eugenio Suarez.
Sinker slider from Vargas. He's given up some homers, especially on that slider, and he is a reverse splits guy, Wayno, meaning righties hit him better than lefties. But didn't Scooble look nervous when we just showed him? He looked like he was so worried about tomorrow.
Oh, sure. Ball with a strike on Torkelson.
That guy is such a unit, too. Just being up next to him, he is just like, his legs look like oak trees. Just a big old thick dude, isn't he?
Yep. Scooble, who again pitched at Seattle U just down the road. Will pitch in a place that means a lot to him. Vargas with a 1-1. Way outside, he yanked that fastball. The chain busted. Oh, man. Sorry, Carlos. Yeah, you see that chain, the clasp on it. Thankfully, he has a backup. The 2-1. Skied left side and out of play.
I was talking with Pete Woodworth, the Mariners pitching coach today. And he said they're tomorrow's starter, though. We've talked about Scooble, but he said he is our rock. Takes the ball every day. Builds up everybody around him every day. So they're super confident also.
Tigers looking for their first hit since the 5th inning. 2-2 pitch is going to run the count full. Riley Green had a single back in the 5th inning. Since then, no hits for Detroit. The bullpen for Seattle, now 6th reliever in Vargas, has not given up a hit yet. Still 3-2.
Well, since the Carpenter homer, I think they have one single, don't they?
That was the Green. That was right after.
Yep. That's it.
That's it.
They haven't gotten. They had 2 walks, I think. Other than that, it has been a lot of weak contact and a lot of strikeouts for these Tigers.
Tigers were susceptible to the strikeout aplenty this year. Number 4 in strikeout percentage this year against a very good strikeout staff in Seattle. Payoff to Torkelson, and a good at bat worked. He's able to draw the leadoff walk. That pumps up the Tigers' dugout a little bit as the go-ahead run reaches to start the frame.
The dreaded leadoff walk. That is the last thing. Look at, there's a little smirk on A.J. Hinch's face. He's thinking, now does he bunt here with Perez?
Again, didn't do it a lot in the regular season, but did it a couple of times in the wild card. No sign from Perez there. Perez came in as a pinch hitter in the 8th inning and struck out against Matt Brash.
And if you can't hit your way on, you got to make Vargas earn these strikes here. He may take a pitch. He may take a strike, I mean. It's a good meeting right here, AJ.
I agree.
Going to give me a sense of what's going on inside between pitcher, catcher, and some of the infielders right now.
Well, Cal Raleigh's going out there to say, hey, let's calm down. I know your chain broke, but we're still okay. Let's just, what can we throw for a strike right here? What do you think you can throw for a strike? And you see the tap on the chest from Cal. That's, listen, Cal Raleigh does a lot of great things, hitting homers, but the way he handles this pitching staff for these Mariners is number 1.
You get your star walking out to the field, patting you on the chest, saying, hey, we believe in you right here. That gives you a lot of mojo.
There's the bunt shown. It's popped up foul, and it's 1-1.
See, for me, he was bunting for a hit there, though. He wasn't bunt. That was a bunt for a hit. And if you're going to bunt, you got to make Josh Naylor, the first baseman, field this ball. Suarez is in.
He's already playing in.
Yeah, you got to make the first baseman field this ball.
Fouled off of the paraphernalia of Cal Raleigh. It's 1-2.
That is something I've never felt, AJ. What does that feel like? I'm glad to do that, to never have felt that. What does that feel like?
Oh, I thought you were saying you're glad to let me throw a ball as hard as I can right in your face. I was like, I'm up for that tomorrow.
No, not at all.
1-2 pitch is in the dirt. That gets away from Raleigh, and on to second base will go Torkelson. The go-ahead run in the 11th is in scoring position for the Tigers.
It's a big deal because it takes away the double play. And also, just one hit now to score him. That's a yank changeup. There's nothing Cal Raleigh can do. He tries. It is just a yanked changeup. There's no worse feeling as a catcher than when you expect the ball to go one way and it ends up on the other side of the plate.
Not a pass ball. It was a wild pitch. Raleigh has not allowed one all season. 2-2. And that one's backhanded to run the count full. In fact, Raleigh and Dingler, the two catchers we have in this series, are the only qualified catchers this year to not have a pass ball charged against them.
Now, the meaning of a pass ball has changed over these last few years.
Sure.
But that's one of the most incredible stats I've ever heard.
He got him with the cutter. Perez goes down, and there's one away.
Little cutter going in. Tough pitch there to Perez, but gosh, we talked about it early in this game. It seems like forever ago. Productive outs.
There is the aforementioned Dingler. He'll take a strike. Wanted to know where it was from Alex Tosi as a fellow catcher.
He's been fair. He's had a wide zone for both sides tonight.
Big cut, late on a fastball, 0-2. Tension, the drama, the noise, up and down and up and down, a sigh of collective relief, and then a holding of a collective breath here in Seattle each pitch. One, two. Got him.
That's nasty. Throwing 100-mile-an-hour sinkers backed up with 97-mile-an-hour cutters. Watch the late action on this ball. Gets right to the bat and just darts out.
Guys, the issues that plagued the Tigers a little bit in the wild card series showing up here in game one. 1 for 9 with runners in scoring position, 1 for 17 with men on base. Here's McKinstry. And there is a base hit with a man aboard. Sneaks it through the middle. Torkelson will score. And right on cue, the Tigers take the lead. McKinstry delivers in the 11th.
All that you just said, Adam, goes away with one swing of the bat. Dreaded leadoff walk.
Yeah, it was a leadoff walk.
Pitch. Comes around to score. And, by the way, broken bat.
Yep.
73-mile-an-hour exit velo. Perfectly placed.
Another late inning playoff RBI for the Tigers coming from Zach McKinstry on a ball that wasn't particularly hard hit. And now here's Baez. Runner takes off from first. The throw down to second by Raleigh, and McKinstry lifts the bag. He had 19 of them during the regular campaign.
Well, now, once you get ahead, you can just be overly aggressive, right? So, let's try and get another one. Let's try to add another one on here. So, this has been an incredible game. And after all of those chances, the Tigers finally get that hit.
Baez takes a cut. 1-1. Back to the go-ahead single.
Just uses the big part of the field, too, AJ. Stays up the middle. A lot of good stuff happens up the middle.
Javi's in swing mode right now.
Yeah. Javi's going back to last year's swing mode right here. He's just trying, like you said earlier, he's got one thing in mind right now, doesn't he?
Oh, hopefully, if you're a Tigers fan, you're hoping it changes. And he just tries to put the ball in play.
Fouls that one away.
The one thing Javi Baez has never been accused of, and that's not having bat speed and swinging hard.
He's not getting cheated.
Tigers flipping the momentum in extra innings. A 1-2 pitch to Baez coming. Popped up, right side. Naylor's over. And running out of room, and that'll get out of play. It was Torkelson on that leadoff walk against Vargas here in the 11th. The wild pitch with Perez at the plate allowed Torkelson to reach second base. Dingler struck out, and then McKinstry went after the first one and got the RBI single. Back up the middle for Baez. The second baseman Polanco's behind the bag. But the Tigers take the lead on the road in the extra innings, and McKinstry comes up and delivers. But it's the top of the Mariners' order coming up in the bottom of the 11th. Rodriguez got it started. Kerry Carpenter flipped the game with a home run of his own. Munoz was clutch, getting 6 outs. Will Vest was clutch, getting 6 outs. And then McKinstry, as he did in Game 1 against Cleveland, comes up with a key RBI late to put the Tigers in front on the road, and they will turn to Cater Montero, just 25 years of age, from Venezuela, who made his major league debut in May of last season. This will just be his 13th career relief appearance between the regular season and playoffs. He has never had a major league save, and to get one tonight, he's got to go through the top of the Mariners order in Arozarena, Raleigh, and Rodriguez.
I don't think if you would have told A.J. Hinch that this is where he'd be, he would have believed it, but they're up with a chance to win this game. And Montero on the mound.
Strike one. Whatever superstition you have, regardless of what team you're rooting for, you're employing it right now. Arozarena takes a strike. 0-2.
Montero's got to be careful here, down in the zone to Randy. Randy loves to go down and drive something middle of the plate down. If you try to throw a breaking ball, you got to bury it.
He did that time, and Arozarena laid off. Montero's 1-2. And Arozarena just got a piece of that slider that was tantalizingly out over the plate.
That's a couple that he wants back tonight, but that one said hit me all over it.
Oh, man. One-two outside.
See, here's what you worry about with the young guy out there. He just threw a pitch that Randy's going to say, oh, I should have hit that one. But then he tries to make one too good. And now he's letting Randy back into the count after being ahead of him. Got to try and put him away if you're Montero right here.
Arozarena bounces it to the left side, cut off by the third baseman, McKinstry. One down here in the 11th.
Love the aggressiveness by McKinstry. Got the big hit. He's feeling all happy, and then he cuts out Baez because he's the only one that could have made this play. Now what do you do here, Waino, against Cal Raleigh?
You have to pitch him like it's 0-2. You have to.
What do you throw, though? Montero doesn't have a split, and that's kind of what they've been attacking him with. You don't want to be careful with sliders down and in.
I know. You just can't let him beat you, though.
Yeah, I know. The problem is it's not a great matchup.
Oh. He flips the first pitch into foul territory. McKinstry's got room, and he's got it.
Like I said, you challenge him in the zone, AJ.
Yeah, that was a breaking ball, though. That was pretty much right down the. Kind of jammed him.
That's the last three pitches have been right down the middle, and these Mariners have missed it.
This is a little slider. It really doesn't do much. And that's the one Cal just did not miss. And now they're going to have a meeting and talk about how to attack Julio. Same thing here. Like, you just 0-2 every pitch. If this is the last hitter, how many ever hitters you face, every pitch is 0-2.
Absolutely. Or just keep throwing it right down the middle. That seems to be working.
So here's Rodriguez. The Mariners have mustered 5 hits. All of them have come from Raleigh and Rodriguez. The 2 from Julio have driven in runs. He's the last chance now for Seattle. And he takes strike 1 from Montero at 97.
Just throw it down the middle. Isn't that what you just said? They're never expecting the one down the middle.
They'll never expect it.
0-1. On the ground, that's through, and the tying run is aboard for the Mariners. A 3-hit Rodriguez game 1, and he keeps the line moving for Naylor.
Tried to go in there again. Waino, he missed out over the plate. Yeah. Julio doesn't. Listen, there used to be an old thing, don't get beat late in. Well, Dingler was set up and they were trying to go in on Julio, and that's his strength.
It is. I don't. It's hard to understand that, but.
Naylor, breaking ball, drops in at the top of the zone for a called strike. Naylor disagreed with the call from Tosi.
Something has to give here. We mentioned how good both these teams have been with one-run games. Well, the Tigers have a 1-run lead, and the Mariners have been great.
Foul back, and it's 0-2, down to their final strike in game 1.
Well, you get Josh Naylor over here for exactly these type of moments right here to lengthen your lineup, which he's done incredibly well this year. This is why he's here, Adam.
He helped clinch Seattle's playoff spot in late September. The tying run is Rodriguez at first. Montero trying to put it away. The 0-2 on the ground, 2 first, vacuumed up by Torkelson, and the Tigers come on the road to Seattle and take game 1. In an extra innings thriller.
What a game. What a game. Just incredible heart by the Tigers. Well pitched and 2 big hits. That was it. Really was it. Kerry Carpenter with the home run off Kirby, and Zach McKinstry with the 2-out knock to drive in the 3rd run. Incredibly well pitched by both sides. What a game.
I mean, you see Cal sitting there. Cal and Randy both had pitches to hit that last inning. They didn't make it happen, but this was an incredibly well pitched game on both sides, and it came down to a couple of moments here and there. The leadoff walks cost both teams today. That ended up being the difference. 7
Detroit relievers combined to finish off the last 7 innings of this ball game. A 3-2 Tigers victory in game 1. For Waino, AJ, and Tom, I'm Adam Amin saying good night from Seattle. KB, Derek, A-Rod, Dontrell, and Big Poppy have it.